What's good, everyone? It's March 27th, 2025. In tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the passing of Matt Stevens, a safety who helped the New England Patriots win Super Bowl 36. Matt Stevens has passed away at the age of 51. Matt Stevens is one of those characters who has multiple birthdays listed. Most sources state that he was born on June 14th, or Flag Day, which does stand out because the word flag equals 26, and this was the number he wore for the New England Patriots. What we're looking at here is the language of Gematria, the numeric underbelly of the English language. This language is built off of the base 4 methods, and then we'll also expand into Latin and Standard. So, thanks to the few of you tuning in live tonight, it's not often I go live this late. Today's video is actually connected to the central theme that I've been discussing. Notice how the name Jordan sums to 26 in reduction. And if you've been following my work lately, Michael Jordan has been the main character of many of the stories lately. After I first introduced this concept, Jordan's championship banners were removed from the United Center the following day. Then a couple days after that, we got the death of an F1 team owner named Eddie Jordan. So all of these videos that are relevant are linked down in the description below. Now, the riddle with Michael Jordan has everything to do with the Pi Day total lunar eclipse, as the famous Chicago Bulls Hall of Fame athlete is mystically connected to the Catholic Church, particularly Pope Francis, through the Pi code 314 and these digits 26 and 62. So now today, number 26 from the Patriots in the news. Well, a significant number of the moon is 0.272. If you divide the diameter of the moon by the diameter of the Earth, approximate values, of course, you get 0.272 repeating. And on the date of today's news, now, although he passed away on March 20th, news of his death came out on March 27th. And if you look at his age on today's date, we find he's exactly 2,702 weeks old. This brings us to the special Satanic Gematria cipher. The phrase Pi Day eclipse sums to 666. Like mathematics of the circle, this year's eclipse on Pi Day following suit. Well, a special numeric cipher built around the number 666 is Satanic Gematria. And in this satanic method, the name Jordan equals 272. Now, I mentioned how he has different birthdays listed. His obituary shows that his birthday is June 15th, so I always wondered how this happened. Different birthdays floating about. But his birthday on Wikipedia and other sources matches that of Donald Trump, the current 47th president. And we're going to see how he's part of this riddle as well, since he has some really strong numbers connected to Michael Jordan. I guess one could say this story is a tribute to the numerology that connects Trump and Jordan. So this guy played safety for the New England Patriots, and he died 314 days before the anniversary of the Super Bowl that he helped the team win. This date here, actually the date of the news, which we're looking at here, March 27th. In the alphabetic order, safety Matthew Bryan Stevens sums to 314. This, his position added to his full name, sums to 314. Now, with capital letters, another cipher built around the alphabetic order, but with capital letters mixed together. This same phrase equals 624. Well, the name Matt Stevens equals 314, and Stevens equals 624 in Sumerian. This number 624 matches the Brown lunation number that Stevens was born under. See this? Again, every moon since 1923 has been numbered. And Stevens born under 624. This upcoming anniversary of Super Bowl 36 will be the 23rd anniversary of that game. And we're going to talk a lot about the number 23, the number that Michael Jordan wore on his jersey, both in college and the NBA. And just look at how Stevens' full name matches Michael Jordan in 3 of the 4 base ciphers in Gematria. Not only does his full name sum to 76, but his common name, Matthew Stevens, also 76. And he played safety in the NFL. That sums to 76. So does Donald John Trump. And of course, this week is 76 weeks after the major Skull and Bones anniversary over at Yale University. Skull and Bones and Secret Society both equal 76. Matthew Stevens died in the state of North Carolina. He attended Appalachian State University, which is also located in North Carolina. Prior to that, however, he attended Chapel Hill High School in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. This city is home to the University of North Carolina, where Michael Jordan played his college basketball in the early 80s. So while Jordan was winning championships, Matthew Stevens was playing football in the state of North Carolina. His death at the age of 51 is another marker of this being a moon riddle. Moon sums to 51. And in regards to all these 76 connections, right? Still 76 weeks after Skull and Bones anniversary. Just run the Gematria on the headline as it appears on Fox News and notice how they lobbed another 76 in there for us. 706 reverse. I also appreciate the 224, as Michael Jordan equals 224. Don't forget, Michael Jordan also owns a NASCAR team, which is currently headquartered in North Carolina, just like all the teams in that sport. Chapel Hill and North Carolina share Gematria of 138 with the 0 dropped. The name Michael has double Gematria of 138. So do his initials MJ, 138. When Matt Stevens was born, Michael Jordan was exactly 138 sidereal months old. A sidereal month, also known as a lunar orbit, measuring the time it takes for the moon to orbit the Earth in relation to the stars. In the standard alphabetic order, the name Donald Trump equals 138. And again, Matt Stevens sharing a birthday with the current president, June 14th. When Matt Stevens first entered the NFL, make note of the first 3 numbers he wore on his jersey: 23, 45, and then again 23 prior to the aforementioned 26. Well, these numbers stand out because during his National Basketball Association career, Michael Jordan primarily wore numbers 23 and number 45. Well, measuring from the date of Super Bowl 36, the only championship that Matt Stevens won with the Patriots, to the date of his death was 23 years and 45 days. 23, the major number of Michael Jordan. He went on to play for the Washington Wizards, W the 23rd letter, and the team has 230 Gematria. And we just had a total lunar eclipse on Pi Day, both of these connecting to the number 23 as well. When Michael Jordan was born, Donald Trump was 200 months and 3 days old. Donald Trump was born on the date of a total lunar eclipse. Now, if you instead use the birthday in Matt Stevens' obituary, June 15th, 1973, we find that that date is another lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse, but the Earth's shadow cast over the moon nonetheless. In reduction, Matt Stevens equals 32, while Stevens equals 23. The word safety, also 32. And this safety, Matt Stevens, was born on a date with 32 numerology, and then died on March 20th, or 320, which also had numerology of 32. The only championship he won, Super Bowl 36, equals 203 in reverse gematria. And that game was played on the date February 3rd, which can be written 2-3 or 3-2. The Roman numerals associated with this game, XXXVI, sums to 23 and 32 in reverse. And when Matt Stevens died on 320, not only was it 320 days before the anniversary of that Super Bowl, but it was also 230 days after the birthday of Tom Brady, the quarterback who led him to victory. In reduction, Brady equals 23. So does the name Donald. And on the date of Brady's first championship, along with Matt Stevens, Donald Trump was 20,323 days old. I thought it was interesting that they even scheduled Matt Stevens' funeral service for 2:30 p.m. Very curious. It was said that he lived in Durham, North Carolina. And Durham gives us another 203 with prime numbers. Durham also has gematria of 323. This will bring us to the skull and bones riddle for Yale University, which is currently 323 years old, which of course has the digits 32 and 23. When Matt Stevens was first drafted into the NFL, it was by the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills has matching 426 gematria with Yale. Yale, another important 426. The name Matt Stevens has matching 149 gematria with Donald in standard. And when you measure between their birthdays, whether you use his Wikipedia birthday or his obituary birthday, it's both 1,409 weeks exactly after Trump was born. The number 1,409 is an important one to the Skull and Bones code because not only is it the 223rd prime number, Skull and bones equals 149, while skull and crossbones equals 223, both in the alphabetic order. Michael Jordan was born exactly 223 lunar orbits after Donald Trump. In ancient Hebrew gematria, the moon sums to 223. This is the number of synodic months between eclipses of the same Saros cycle. With capital letters, the name Donald also has this 223. But the name Donald also has gematria of 324. This using the trigonal method of gematria, one of the 4 base mathematical ciphers that I also teach. All based in the alphabetic order with simple mathematical functions applied. So here we see Donald equals 324. When Matt Stevens was born, Donald Trump was exactly 324 months old. And when Stevens passed away, Michael Jordan was 3,240 weeks of age. Now that 3240 also stands out. I just discussed this number in my decode on Mia Love, which you'll also find linked in the description below. Because Michael Jordan was exactly 3,240 weeks old when she died. Her name, Mia Love, was 3240, and she represented Utah. And Jordan's last championship was against the Utah Jazz, which also equals 32-40. And the same day we learned about Mia Love's death, the Bulls beat the Nuggets to become 32-40. And of course, the Nuggets in Colorado, which neighbors Utah. In Satanic Gematria, his position safety equals 286. This safety died exactly 286 lunar phases after his only championship. A lunar phase, or a synodic month, is a couple days longer than the previously mentioned sidereal month. When he died, it was on the date leaving 286 days in the year. And today, when news of his passing was published, it's 286 days after his birthday. So he went to Chapel Hill High School, the same city that Michael Jordan played his college basketball. In ordinal, Chapel Hill sums to 86. In reverse, safety is 86. The name Stevens also has an 86 in standard. And Matt died 86 days before his next birthday. When we learned of his death, today, March 27th, it's the 86th day of the year. Both human sacrifice and blood sacrifice sum to 86, a number which is used as slang for offing or getting rid of. His death at age 51, a number that matches ritual sacrifice in Latin. Now, these two men, Donald Trump and Matt Stevens, were born exactly 27 years apart. Super Bowl 36 was actually played on a date with primary numerology of 27. And a fact about Matt Stevens is that back in the year 2007, he was paralyzed, and he eventually regained the ability to move. But one must wonder if this condition led to his early demise. Also, if you write out Safety Matthew Stevens, you get a double 27 in ordinal and reverse. In regards to his death being published on 3/27, March 27th, this is the ordinal gematria of a man named William Huntington Russell, who appears to be the primary founder of the Skull and Bones Society, along with Alphonso Taft, whose last name may seem familiar to those of you who know your American presidents, and of course that's no coincidence. So if you include the end date, or instead use his birthday from his obituary, Trump and Stevens were born 27 years and 1 day apart. Well, when Stevens died, he was exactly 2,701 weeks old. 271 is the 58th prime number. Donald John Trump, 580, like Bulls. Chapel Hill and Chicago Bulls, also 58. But 2701 is an important biblical number. The first verse of the Bible in the Hebrew Torah has a Hebrew value of 2701. And 2701 is the 73rd triangular number. And Matt Stevens was born in the year 73, while Trump was born in the year 46. And the word sacrifice equals both 73 and 46, while ritual sacrifice equals 73 as well. So there's a little more I glossed over, but a couple of things worth mentioning is, the date of this Super Bowl with 27 numerology. February 3rd also leaves 331 days in the year. And in ordinal, University of North Carolina sums to 331. And North Carolina Tar Heels, their fighting mascot, another 331. Also, if you measure from Trump's birthday to Michael Jordan's, they were born 8 months and 3 days apart on the calendar. The name Jordan does have Gematria of 83 if you crack enough ciphers open. I think it's this one. I know it's somewhere. I started this journey, so now I must end it. Oh, it's MJ, his initials, which also equal 23, his jersey number. But with capital letters, you do get an 83. And I point this out because when Matt Stevens died, Michael Jordan was exactly 830 sidereal months old. And considering this whole video has been about his connections to the moon, I imagine that's appropriate. The word moon also is 83 with capital letters. So 83 there, MJ 83. And 830 orbits of the moon after he was born, we get this death. Also, the word murder, an important 83, containing the same digits as death in ordinal. All right, so looking at my notes, I actually mentioned all of them this time. So, good job me, I guess. Pat myself on the back, help myself to a little bowl of ice cream or something after this stream. And thanks to everybody for the decent turnout here as we approach midnight on the East Coast, 11 o'clock here in the Midwest. And it's good to see that people watch this channel for as long as they do. Occasionally I get a message telling me that they've been watching every one of my videos, yet I've never seen them comment. So if you're one of those lurkers in the background, much thanks for making this content a part of your life, I guess at this point. It's work I've been doing for 7-8 years. Actually, my very first Gematria video, it'll be 9 years this December. So, Try sleeping on that one. Time flies when you're having fun, though, and breaking down the numerical matrix that we all find ourselves spinning inside of has been an enjoyable hobby for me. So thanks to everyone for making it a reality. If you'd like to support the work, there's links down in the description below. Once again, other videos related to this same riddle that I've been exploring on my YouTube channel and on my blog for the last couple of weeks. It might actually be worth a playlist at this point, wouldn't it? Considering all of these things happening within 1 or 2 weeks' time, it should be one of those things that people look at and understand Gematria certainly has relevance. But some people just won't see it, and that's fine. I always joke that if everybody was way into Gematria like I am, then not much would get done around here. So, all right, everybody. With my nonsense out of the way, signing off for tonight. Peace, love, God bless. Sleep well, everybody. See ya.